Hello and welcome.
Reload booster on guns.
Today we will do another Clan War tactics analysis.
Yeah.
And in this game we are facing a clan called Jima.
Yeah, I should.
And
One did
they
B,
are
okay.
also a clan that ended up in Storm in the end of the season. So
Warlock.
it is expected that they will
Going
not
through mid
have
or-
as well thought through tactics, and at times we'll be
Residue or
making
going
some
wide, spotting.
questionable decisions,
It might be good.
which we will see
to
here
join-
will
yeah, probably
cost them a
stay
lot,
here.
and probably even a chance
Remember,
at
both
winning the
went
game.
B, one continue to
One's
910.
our left, one's our right. Not both.
We are
One's our B, one's our right.
actually playing a Bravo game here, so there's
Say again?
several players that are not
Battleship going
regular in Alpha team, although all of them have
Even
played
big
games in Alpha. So
I mean, if we put you young
none
here,
of
then
us here
maybe
are
we'll save
bad
for
players.
torpedoes.
But
Anyway,
it means that we are not fully used to playing with each other, and some of us are playing ships that we
yes,
might not normally play as much in Clan Wars, so there are bound to be some mistakes from our side as well.
Yeah, we
yeah,
need
we
ones
need
out
one
with you.
ones, but if I'm
For example, we see here that
but then it's
both our souths, one of which is me,
yeah,
are
ideally,
going
but it's
to A. But one of us was
one
actually
away.
supposed to go to B to help out there. So that was a bit of miscommunication, which happens when the setup and players are different from normal. Compared to the last game we showed in this forum, we have changed a bit. We have exchanged one of our souths for a second Yang. But other than that, the ship lineup is intact. The enemy team is using a Yamato, Des Moines, Henry, Hindenburg, Sau, Stalingrad, and Z-52.
You might as well radar right now because
on this particular map, as we see here, when a team has a Henry, it is fairly common that they will try to push him in from this side.
Henry's coming
And we pushed in one of our Yangs very early on, so we are already contesting it, and will prevent the enemy team from getting the cap. Now I missed my first salvo, but the second one really showcased the ridiculousness of the Sau Legendary.
No. Oh, it's that.
Henry especially is quite sensitive to the
why?
super dispersion Sau HE salvos, and even though I only hit the 9 shells, still did over 10k damage. And not only from me, but he lost additional HP from other players in the team.
Dalton, can you shoot this Henry?
The Stalin is also a bit out of position and is eating a lot of damage from the ships here we have. Get some fires on him and so on.
So them are here.
So he is quite low early on in the game.
Okay, what do we do?
We also see that the enemy has majority of the forces here on this side,
Can you radar?
just like we do, even though it was not exactly our plan.
Display defensive.
Compared to the lemming train we saw in the other game, this is a more reasonable version of that tactics, that you keep 2 ships on the other side to be able to deal better with any ships that are there, and then they focus on one side with 5 ships. And on this particular
Radar in
map,
10 seconds.
like
Can
we
you
said
shoot,
before,
this Henry
sending in the
right?
Henry in A is
I can, but I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna spot him.
fairly reasonable tactics. If played well, he will lose a lot of HP going in. And with a bit of luck, you can even kill him.
So I should be able
So
to
there's
shoot
always
him.
a certain amount of risk involved. He's also in a position where he can't really
Any torp to do?
get to Warlock, who is in the
He's
Yang in A,
baiting me
because
because
he risks eating
acceleration
torps.
activated and I'm not gonna hit
And
him.
meanwhile, we can shoot him from all different kind of directions to further bring down his HP. And we see here that he's getting very low.
Neil's coming.
Neil's
just
also
push the
coming
fight,
on
maybe we'll come
the
and kill him.
middle entrance to A, but it will actually be
Have
Pref
fight from
that
middle?
will
Let's
finish
go.
off the Henry.
Okay, he's
Stalin is
turning.
pushing again.
Now I have gotten a
Try
bit
to
far
finish
up
him.
north.
Nice.
I will blame that on not having
Also
played
push up,
much
also
SAO in
push
Clan War,
up.
so there are some
Stalingrad is pushing.
mistakes I make because of that,
Yeah.
because it is different from
We need to
randoms.
Okay,
But regardless, as the Henry goes down, we see the Stalingrad pushing hard into A, but he is already half HP and
Okay,
pretty
Stalin is
alone.
turning, guys. Punish him.
Hindenburg
Double
and
middle.
Yamato are a bit far behind,
We
and
need help.
there's no issue for us to completely focus on Stalingrad, and he is eating heavy damage as he goes in. I think he also ate a torp from Warlock.
Stalingrad.
So the Stalingrad push was completely wasted.
Now Yamato.
So am I.
Warlock will go down, but we will still have Neil inside A. And now the next ship will try to get into the cap, which is the Yamato. And again, as he is
the ferry side.
pushing in, we will be able to
I'm not talking about
lower him quite
Actually,
substantially,
Prefab is protecting you from,
because it is one ship, and we see that the SAO and Hindenburg are currently completely useless. We are not being
Guys,
punished for
Yamat.
shooting at Yamato, and we can just quite safely bring down his HP to make it easier to retain control of A.
Do you need me in A?
Don't need you in it.
And as we see, Yamato
I do need you in it.
is losing HP fast. Hindenburg at least has finally cleared the island and can
Going back.
at least deal
Coming
some
back.
damage back to us as we shoot at him,
Oh, you're
but
so lucky, Neil.
Yamato will be going down. Not as quickly as we would have needed him
Shoot a
to,
bit more in
but
front, Neil, under the first.
his aim or RNG is
One
not
more,
really
one more.
with him, so Neil will survive here, even though he's quite low and
You're
eat
lucky.
a substantial amount of damage.
Nice.
We managed to take down the Yamato,
Killing him. I'm being
and at this point, because the enemy
Repair,
team
Neil?
chose to send in one ship after the other into one cap, they are going to lose this
Nice.
game.
Watch out, watch out.
There is such a thing as overcommitting to a task, and doing it the way Jima did
no, the closest.
was not the best way to do it. Sending in the Henry in the beginning, yes, we can definitely do that. But then as the Henry died and they tried to put in more ships, they sent in the lone Stalingrad
Now
with nothing really to back him up.
here.
And then when he went down, they sent in the lone Yamato without anything
And
that
try
could
to get
help
shot
him
on that
get in.
if you cannot shoot.
Had they pushed up the Yamato together with the Stalin, and
That
the
guy
Sao
is
and
gonna
Hindenburg
probably try to
had
rush
been in
me.
better positions,
I think
it will be
I
much
think
harder
so.
for us to actually get the ships down enough to
Left,
keep Neil alive
taking the
and
Des Moines.
maintain the control of the cap.
I should be able to kill him now.
Des Moines is broadside.
On the east side, it's been
Hold on.
a little bit
You
less
leave.
exciting, perhaps.
Those two guys are not important.
The main issue might have been the Z-52, but Max and Pref have been able to deal with him quite well.
Iron
The Des
East,
Moines is trying to push up the side here, but we now have several ships that can shoot at him, and Des Moines will not survive that for very long. Hindenburg and Sao are quite far away from A. And even if you try to push up, we still have the second Sao there, and we have the Des Moines inside the cap. So trying to go in there at this point would cost them probably more ships. The morning go down, and the game is basically over. And this is a pretty good example to show that there is, like I said, such a thing as overextending. And when you want to really push, you have to make sure that your allies can support you, which Jima didn't do.
Oxy.
They sent in 2 ships, one after another, basically without support, which cost them the opportunity to take the cap by killing the Des Moines.
I'm not getting guides.
And I will actually finish the Z-52 here, and we win the game.